Immediately pulled over, slid down the embankment, and swam through city waters to the sinking vehicle after helping the woman out of the car. And onto the river bank, he quickly called 911. While police hailed Brandon Altahero, he says he was just in the right place at the right time.
It's that time of the year again, folks. At 2 a.m. this Sunday, everyone's clocks are going to move ahead, and we are all going to lose an hour of sleep. Dr. Victor Kaw, a pulmonologist at TriStar Southern Hills Medical Center, has some advice for how to cope with the expected loss of sleep. Dr. Kaw recommends starting your new sleep schedule a couple days early, even if it's just by 20 to 30 minutes. Kaw also says that this advice isn't just for the youngsters, it's for adults too. Before we continue, we would like to make a correction to a previous story. I'd said that Derek Chauvin had pleaded guilty when in reality he had pleaded not guilty. I apologize for the mistake. Follow us for updates.
Hannah, I need some restaurant recommendations because I am starving.
Well, Blake, I heard our segment anchor, Ryan Shelton, has a great place for you to visit. Ryan, what can you tell us?
Thanks, guys. Today on Denton Eats, we are talking about one of my favorite little soul food restaurants here in Denton. Where can you get chicken in a waffle? Only at the small soul food restaurant in Denton, Texas, Clara's Kitchen. The building that houses Clara's Kitchen has been a restaurant since the 1950s, being one of the only places that African Americans could come and eat during that time. I sat down with the two owners of Clara's Kitchen, Tammy Bradley and Emmanuel Gooden, about the history and the food of one of my favorite restaurants here in Denton.
Just be able to carry on a legacy. To be able to carry on something that, I hate to sound selfish, but something that belongs to us, because as a people we rarely have things that is ours per se. So it means a lot for myself, and I believe as well Tammy, to be able to carry on something that people can, from this area, can look back and grab a hold of and say this is a belonging to. This community. Clara's Kitchen is named after my mother. So it was just something that I've always talked to her about doing. Wanted her to share her food, and Tammy and I love to cook as well. So it was like, it was a no-brainer.
Coming in, the great thing that everyone can expect is, a smile, great customer service, and that homey feel where you can just feel like you belong.
Now on Clara's Kitchen's Facebook page, they have a link to a GoFundMe page to help them move to downtown Denton. If anyone's interested in pitching in to help out, I'm sure they'll greatly appreciate it. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Ryan. One company continues to boost its Starlink satellite infrastructure. SpaceX has launched 60 more satellites into orbit this morning from Cape Canaveral, using one of its Falcon 9 rocket boosters. These 60 will join the 1,100 satellites that are already in orbit. These satellites are used to bring high-speed internet service to people back here on the ground. So far, about 10,000 people around the world are using it. In the future, the company hopes to provide their internet service in vehicles, airplanes, and ships.
Have you seen the UNT men's basketball game, Hannah?
I can't say I did, Blake, but I know someone who has all the highlights. Jalen, what can you tell us?
Thanks, guys. I can actually tell you that UNT did. When we return, I'll tell you about how the Rangers are about to be relevant again. With opening day of the MLB season being April 1st, the Texas Rangers are going to be the first team to open their stadium at full capacity when the season starts. No one has had a full capacity game since the pandemic started. Not only will they be the first MLB team to do this, but they will be the first team in any major sport to accomplish this feat. There will still be COVID restrictions in place, such as masks needing to be worn. There also won't be any tailgating before games. Duke's men's basketball team has pulled out of the ACC tournament due to a positive COVID test within the program. Ultimately, this will end their season at 13-11. The Blue Devils were in line to play the Florida State Seminoles, but due to the circumstances, this game will be canceled and Duke will have to miss the rest of the tournament. The Mean Green basketball team took the win last night and advanced in the Conference USA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that we really tried to emphasize was not giving up second chance baskets. That's where we felt like the game could be won if we could limit them to one shot, and we were able to do that a majority of the game, and then we were able to secure some rebounds so we could play the other way, and our guards did a great job of rebounding. Javion Hamlet had 7, Mardrez McBride had 7 rebounds. That's how we got to play as a team, is be a good defensive team and figure out a way to get stopped.
This has been UNT's second CUSA tournament win since it was moved to the Ford Center in 2018. The next game for the Mean Green is scheduled to be tonight at 9 p.m. against Old Dominion. Will the Mean Green make it 3 wins in the Ford Center? We'll just have to wait and see. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jalen. As climate change continues to dominate global policy, hockey players in Russia are trying to draw attention to the issue. CNN's reporter Fred Pleitgen visited with Russian hockey legends to find out more.
A power play to help save our planet. Russian hockey legends playing a match on the majestic Lake Baikal, the largest freshwater reservoir in the world. Organized by all-time NHL great Slava Fetisov, who's now the UN's patron for polar regions.
We play on ice, it's, as you know, it's ice melting everywhere, not only in the North and South Pole. It doesn't need to be the rocket scientist to see what's going on.
I had the privilege of being allowed to play in the match on a rink made of ice blocks at this stunning venue. The initiative is called The Last Game, which plays hockey in places endangered by global warming around the world, endorsed by the UN and even blessed by Pope Francis.
Of course, the reason for this game is very serious. The warmer our Earth gets, the less space there is for games like ice hockey and other winter sports as well.
Lake Baikal is one of those endangered areas. It's gigantic, holding more fresh water than all of America's Great Lakes combined, a fifth of the world's unfrozen reserves. But there are a lot of unresolved problems here, from unregulated tourism to harmful industries. The Russian government also recently relaxed regulations protecting the lake. And Russia is one of the countries hardest hit by global warming. Record temperatures for several years have led to a massive melt of its permafrost, leading to giant sinkholes and releasing even more greenhouse gases, as well as massive wildfires that further increase the world's temperatures.
This is the catastrophe which no vaccine could be found.
And while hockey won't save the world's climate, at least the organizers hope it will cause some to take action to try and preserve the natural playing fields of the game that so many love so much. Fred Pleitgen, CNN, on Lake Baikal.
And today is a day for joyous and tired celebration for one hospital in Nevada as they discharged their last 2 COVID patients yesterday. Valentina Boyuparde reports.
The feelings and the emotions spread through the entire hospital.
Healthcare providers at the Northern Nevada Medical Center came to work this morning to no COVID-19 patients.
It's amazing. It feels like we've made so much progress. It's a light at the end of the tunnel for everybody.
The last 2 patients were sent home last night.
One was here for an extended period of time and one was only here for a few days.
A day we all have been waiting for, especially those working on the front lines.
You're very weary coming to work, what the day was going to have for you and what kind of battles you were going to go up against.
Jessica Rios is a mom, a wife, and also a nurse at the hospital. She says it's been a tough year.
A lot of emotion, fear and sadness. And then, end of life conversations that you didn't think you'd have to have.
After seeing hundreds of COVID-19 patients, they are ready to treat more if needed. But for now, it will be nice to enjoy a little break.
One of our walls came down this morning, and that wall is to separate the normal hospital floor to our isolation COVID unit. So as that was coming down, a lot of the nurses were very thankful that they were going to get a break from the huge astronaut-like isolation suit that they have to wear.
Covering the story, Valentina Bonaparte, 2 News.
Doesn't it just feel good, Hannah, that they're finally out of the hospital?
Yeah, I'm glad things are taking a turn for the better. Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight here on North Texas Television.